Week 17 in the 2025 CFL season. Bombers and Alouettes win. Riders and Ticats lose. What's not to like? We do some liking on the games right here on the RWB. And apparently, we're going to do some hating on the new rule changes. That's the Rouge, White, and Blue coming up next. Hello and welcome to the Rouge, White, and Blue CFL podcast. My name's Oz Davis. I'm the co-host of the show. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Joe Pritchard. Joe, as I like to ask, how is it going? I think half and half.
Yeah, I mean, life is going fine. Been coaching some youth soccer lately, doing well at that because our team has a lot of talent, so that always helps.
Wow.
So it hides the fact that the coach doesn't have a clue what he's doing. So
really, okay. I was just going to say, do you have a clue?
I mean, I know enough to get myself in trouble, but I don't have to deploy any of it. I just say, here, you see the ball, go kick it.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Great. Well, good. What I mean, like, what are your stats?
I mean, they're 6 and 7 year olds, so I'm not really keeping that close of tally here. But
no, but I mean, wins, losses, draws.
So actually, the first game happened when I was at Banjo Bowl, and my wife was able to guide them to a victory. And and then like the last 2 games, I've just kind of sat there and watched them as they're, they're just, we have a lot of 7-year-olds in a 6-7-year-old league. That's just what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, my role is to rotate people and make sure everybody gets to play an equal amount of time. That's my stats. I'm doing okay at that.
Right, exactly. Make sure everybody gets to play. Absolutely. Great. You're the man, Joe. You're the man. You're the coach.
I'm better at coaching soccer than I am at coaching baseball, apparently.
Why? What's your baseball coaching experience? Did you do it last year?
Yeah, just over the summer, with my boy. So that's
cool.
My boy likes it when I coach his team, so I've been helping out where I can. So
cool. All right. Well, how was your baseball team?
Haven't tasted victory yet in baseball. So
wow.
It's one of those things, right?
Yeah.
It was the exact opposite experience with soccer. We had all the young kids. Just happens.
I think you're on the hot seat, Joe.
Oh, I was the assistant. Somebody else can get fired for that.
You might get promoted. All right. But anyway, on to, how about Canadian football? Since this is the Canadian football podcast. Let's talk. Well, I'd like to talk week 17 in the 2025 CFL season, of course. But I'd rather talk about these rule changes. So I guess I was thinking about this today. One of the disadvantages of recording this show so early in the week is that you don't get some of the news stories that are relevant for the next week and going forward far into the future. Like, for example, this story, which, when was this teased? Like on Monday?
It was teased. We recorded on Sunday morning Central Time. Usually it's out Sunday afternoon Central Time. And then, gosh, only a couple hours, it was like, something weird is happening. So get ready to watch everything explode. And it did.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. They announced this, that, there's going to be a major announcement the next day, the following day, or whatever. And Twitter, the Twitterverse, I don't know how it was over there on Blue Sky, Joe, but the Twitterverse instantly, once again, showed itself to be the most insane corner of the public discourse universe. Just this immediately went to, oh yeah, we're going to have 4 downs. We're going to have, it's going to merge with the XFL. That came back again. Some folks were being optimistic and saying, oh, 10th team? Is that what this is about? which, wow, would
I
be
mean, if
kind
they've
of.
been CFL fans long enough, they know not to be optimistic about that sort of thing, right?
Well, I mean, technically, what is it? The Atlantic Schooners have been in existence since the '80s, right? that's when they that's when they're approved
Some way,
team.
shape, or form.
I just haven't held the supplemental draft yet, the expansion draft. They haven't done that yet. But in any case, CFL Commissioner Stuart Johnston, let me sure I get that right, Stuart Johnston, came out and announced some really major new rule changes that will be implemented over the next 2 seasons. Let's see, I have them here. Okay, so by now, if you're listening to this podcast, you've heard about these changes. So, Joe, I just wanted to go through more or less one by one, go through these. You told me before the show that you thought to some extent, on the whole, this is a disaster. Whereas one by one, things might make sense. Um, no expansion, no mergers, nothing like that. But instead, we have stuff like modifying the team bench locations. Okay, this is an easy one, right? So no more two benches on the same side of the field. Um, Makes sense.
Yep. Like I'm 100% on board with that. That makes sense.
Right,
That's an
right,
easy thing to do.
right. This is a good
Except
one.
my question is,
Okay.
given that we all know what's coming
Mhm.
as we go through this, is A, if it was easy to do, why haven't they done it yet? And B, if you had space issues beforehand and you didn't do it that way because of space issues, how are you going to gain
Yeah,
that space?
yeah,
And that's a question I'll just leave hanging in the air here for a second, okay?
yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah. I want to come back to that one too. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts on that. Okay. I kind of like this one a lot too, to be honest. The automatic 35-second play clock. I already hate the stoppages in play. I don't like this in the college football game either, the American college football game either. I don't like this at all. I think it's a crutch. And I think it really slows things down. You don't want the last 3 minutes of your halves and of your games to look like the last 3 minutes of an NBA game. That drives you bananas. Like the fact that the last minute and a half takes 10 minutes,
Mhm.
20 minutes. It's like, come on, come on. So I don't know. I was for this one. What do you think, Joe?
This one makes sense, and just viewing the games this weekend, actually had to do a lot of it after the fact because of previous commitments I had. But viewing what I got to see this week, I spent a little bit of time on times where I knew there wasn't going to be much happening for the next few minutes and just watched the clock. And really, it comes out about in the wash. It takes them, so play gets whistled down. The play clock doesn't start until they set the ball and whistle it in, right? And it takes them between 10 and 15 seconds to do that on any given play.
Yeah.
So your 20 seconds starts when they whistle it in. Well, if they don't,
Right.
if they take their sweet time whistling it in, you could burn a good amount of time. So just mandating it to be 35 seconds
Yeah.
is just setting the reality and enforcing a pace to it.
Yes.
Which
yes.
was the whole idea of a 20-second play clock being shorter than an NFL play clock and what have you. So really, it's just a different way of saying we do like a fast pace. Let's just make it so that it's
Official.
the same pace all the time.
Right. Yep. I think totally fair. I mean, this stuff about not standardizing the clock. I mean, this is like 1940s stuff. It's just like having arbitrary times and stuff. Like in soccer. To be honest. So this I like this. Okay, put this in there. Great. Okay, now we start getting weird. Okay, so you have the Rouge. We are modifying the Rouge, and these are these first three that I have mentioned are the three changes that go into effect next year. Okay, so they're modifying the Rouge. If you miss the field goal And as I understand it, it's unreturnable. It's not 1 point.
Right. Now they're making it so the ball has to be downed in the end zone for it to be a point instead of just going out past the deadlines, right?
Right. Even
Same with
rolling out
punts.
of bounds. Even
Yes.
rolling out.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just
What about
you gotta down it.
what about if you bat it out of bounds? That would be a safety.
Now we're getting into the arcane parts of the rule book
Right.
that I would need to spend a second reading about and going, okay,
But
this is what happens then.
but it
Basically,
is.
the way
I
the
was just
rule
gonna.
reads is for the Rouge is now going to be, hey, they have to concede it. If they don't concede it, then it's not a point.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
So
So
even
if it goes out the end line, like when they were showing in the press conference, they were
Right.
showing that from what
Okay.
2-3 years ago when BC scored because the ball went just past the deadline and like the returner was trying to catch it and get in bounds to try to get it, but
Yes.
he landed out of bounds. It was
Yes.
dead ball. BC got a point and won, and
Right.
everybody freaks out about a Grey Cup ending that way.
Yeah, of course. People are reiterating this one again online in the
Right.
in the
I don't even have the energy for that fight anymore. I've been fighting
right.
that fight for 10 years, and fine, you guys win, whatever.
Well, I mean, again, this is a change whose time had come. I mean, the argument has been made. The argument has been made on this show by people more expert than us that, it rewards failure. It does. It does in this situation. Now, as long as you're keeping the Rouge everywhere else, right? But here's the thing with that, and this is what really bugs me. Rule number 5.
Okay, this is where I start to get mad.
Right. 2027. Shortening the end zone. Right. Combine that with change number 4. Wait a minute. Where is the moving rule number 6? Moving the goalpost location. They're going to put the goalpost at the back of the end zone. Now, doesn't this effectively kill almost any Rouge on a kick?
On a field goal, absolutely. Field goal returns
on a kickoff.
are now going to have. Yeah, on a kickoff.
Yep, because it can bounce out.
Yeah, it could bounce out.
Yep.
I mean, so I also did watch and saw and tried to see how often that last 5 yards is going to come into play.
Mm-hmm.
In and of itself, cutting 5 yards off the end zone isn't going to be the end of the world.
No.
I can stomach that as an individual point.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I mean, we're already playing with 17-18 in Toronto, right? They don't like the corners in Montreal being curved. I think it's unique. I think it's fun. I mean, baseball stadiums are all different as far as where you hit the ball to hit a home run. So that kind of thing don't bother me. Mm-hmm. Also, a point I can individually stomach, right? The goalpost being put on the goal line, the idea is it's going to make teams want to go for touchdowns more because they can't kick a field goal from darn near midfield, right?
Yeah, except these days they can.
Well, I mean, Sergio was kicking them from, a 60-yard field goal in the CFL. Right now, you're kicking out on your own side of the field, right?
Right.
I mean, same with the NFL with their 10 yards back, but 15 takes away that chance in the midfield of having that long, desperate field goal attempt, right? But I don't think it's going to change coaches. It's going to change the yard line when coaches make decisions as far as, do I go for a field goal? Do I punt? Do I go for it? But is it going to change what they do? I think you're trying to enforce strategy on a coach on that front, right?
No, that's
and I don't want to hear a word about player safety as far as the goalpost goes. That just
come on.
That one they were full of crap on. I don't want to hear it.
I mean, how many injuries have we seen involving the goalpost in 10 years we've been doing this? I think one. I seem to recall one. Yeah. But Jesus, come on, guys.
Hey, it also helps the offense if they know how to use it right?
Right, exactly.
Touchdowns, they can use it as a pick.
Right.
Sure, if they hit the goalpost, that's their own problem. They made the mistake by missing their pass.
Right.
Right?
Right. Right.
And I mean, as a Bomber fan, I'm kind of like that idea of
Okay.
quarterbacks hitting goalposts for some reason. That brings back a very fond memory of mine.
Right.
I don't love
Um,
I don't love that. Like now you're changing the strategy of the game, and I don't like that very much.
okay.
And I
Okay.
think all of it would have been kind of sort of okay, except for the last point.
Right. Well, actually, it's point number 4, which was shortening the field in shortening the field in 2 seasons. Okay. So they're getting rid of the 55. They got rid of the 55.
Yeah, it's just everything else over the course of this past week. I've like taken the time to like piece it together as opposed to being in a blind rage for 2 days. I'm glad we didn't record Monday night like we used to because I wouldn't have been coherent. Also,
Really?
I have
Wow.
bowling on Monday night, so chucking a 13-pound ball down a lane a bunch of times really did help my mood.
Really? Okay, good.
Right. So
What'd you shoot, like an 87? I mean, like,
oh no. I'm a
what'd you
terrible
roll?
bowler, but I was like my average is like in the 130-ish area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
I was around there the whole time, so
Oh,
whatever.
okay. Cool.
I'm just not good at it, but it's fun, so I just keep doing it.
Oh, of course. That's the thing. That's the thing. There's basically 2 things in life that you don't have to be good at to have a good time: bowling and sex. There you go. That's it. So yeah, bowling is a fantastic sport, and it's really great exercise. This is not actually a plug, but it's actually a really great exercise because you barely notice you're exercising.
And I am
But you
mentioning
are.
we're talking 10-pin bowling, but I like 5-pin
Yeah.
bowling too when I go to Canada, right? That's fun too.
Have you ever seen candlepin bowling?
I've done that once. I didn't like it quite as much.
Yeah, that's the standard in New England. When I was growing up, that's all I knew. I never played with the proper bowl. No, never did when I was a
Anyway,
kid.
so on to me
Back
being
to
mad.
the more
Like
football.
this was just, hey, look, we're in control of this game. Here's our middle fingers toward the fans that have been around here forever. We're gonna make whatever effing changes we feel like making. So either just suck it up and deal with it, or go away.
Mm-hmm.
That was the message they sent with that change. Everything else I could rationalize as I was coming down off an emotional high, right? Everything else I could at least rationalize. This I can't. This is telling me that they want to do more, but they kind of stopped halfway because they knew if they did it all in one shot, that they were going to piss off their traditional fan base for sure and lose a chunk of them. They still might. I mean, that's still up in the air. I mean, there's a lot of people pissed off about this. But doing it all in one shot would have guaranteed it, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm just thinking, okay, well, we know what this looks like in 2027. What does this look like in 2030?
Oh, man. Oh, no. By 2030, they'll be playing American football.
Exactly. And just think about, and I'm not going to talk any specifics here, and I'm just going to make a quick point here. Think about the political environment right now and ask yourself why a Canadian company would make a change to make something more American right now. Like, what the hell are you thinking?
They're thinking about selling the league to an American interest.
I mean,
that's
a
hedge fund.
Yeah, and shortening the field to fit into soccer stadiums. I mean,
okay, but here's the
they're
thing.
not saying anything about expansion. They're even like in the press conference, they were like denying that they had thoughts about that or anything that moving that way. But that's obviously what they're trying to do, right? I mean, my wife doesn't give a.
Is that obvious?
My wife doesn't give a crap about this.
Mm-hmm.
She tolerates it because I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I told her about this, like this morning finally, because like we've had a busy week, but like this morning as I'm catching up and I'm telling her about all this, it's like, well, they're obviously trying to make it shorter to fit in more stadiums, right? Like that was her point. I didn't even bring it up. And it's like,
well, yeah.
First point she made. It's like, oh, they're trying to make it fit into more stadiums.
Yeah.
They must be thinking about expansion.
Yeah. Okay. All right. See, I never made that leap because here's the thing. Here's the thing that, you know, I call BS on. Okay. Because this was the rationale. This was the rationale is okay. Now, if we shorten this, we can fit it into soccer stadiums. But then they also did not hesitate to point out that they are not narrowing the field. Right.
Except,
So,
let's
so
go back
wait
to
a
the
minute.
first point.
And
One
then,
of the first
right.
points. They can't fit the benches comfortably on the east
Right.
sideline right now, right?
Right.
What are they going to do?
Right. They're going to shorten the field. They're going to narrow the field.
Yeah. Like, that's the obvious next inference, right? It's like, okay,
of course.
so you're rationalizing the sidelines. Great. That's perfect. We love it. But except, what about the space? If you didn't have space before, how do you have space now?
Right. Right. They will.
They will make it.
Oh, yeah. There'll be enough teams bitching about how they got to basically lean up against the wall on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, better decrease it.
Or what? Put some mesh fencing up to keep the fans from reaching over and grabbing guys. Like, if you're going to be that close.
Yeah, it's going to be like playing ball in Fenway Park, for God's sake. Oh, my God. Okay. Wow. So, wow. Okay. So you're not in a rage anymore, Joe. You are coherent.
It's been 6 days. I'm
you're
okay.
still not happy. But you're still not happy.
No.
Wow.
I mean, I enjoyed watching my team win a game this week. I still enjoyed the idea, but let's face it, this changes the calculus, right? The more the game becomes American, the less it stands out. You could either be the best Canadian football league you can be, or you can be a third minor league for the NFL. Right. Which one do you think makes more money, for one?
Yeah.
And then on a personal note, which one am I going to spend $600 a effing plane ticket on to go see?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. This is kind of like, it's pretty wild because there's a similar situation going on in European basketball, right? I know you don't follow hoops that much, but there's been all this weird rumors and meetings and things like this where, Commissioner of NBA Adam Silver wants to somehow incorporate teams like FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, Panathinaikos in Greece, Olympiacos in Greece, teams like the two big Lithuanian teams like this into some kind of either what I suspect feeder league for the NBA, or affiliated league or something like this, so that we show these games on American TV, and they probably allow a lot more American players on their roster, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, imagine trades. Imagine being traded to Spain, to some team in Spain from the NBA. But I mean, and I often compare this CFL to the European game. But just like the European game is becoming more and more like the American game due to financial / economic concerns. Here we go. And you referenced the political situation. I will say this. I've been saying for years, the best thing that Canada could do is like break off from America a little bit. This is the single biggest trading relationship in the world between these two countries. In general, I think Canada should back off a little bit if they know what's good for them. And in this instance, absolutely. I mean, maybe is it about expansion? So is this someday you get Birmingham and friggin' Las Vegas and teams like this in the league? Or is it a small market league?
Or is it, hey, Halifax has a soccer stadium. This is the way we get them in.
Okay.
Or, hey, we've got a whole bunch of other places that we can put a team to. Hey, we got people interested in that money. Maybe they'll, if they don't have to build the stadium, maybe they'll actually join us or what have you. I don't know their rationale because I can't fathom for the life of me why the hell they would do this in the first place. Like if you want to own a pro American team, the UFL I'm sure will take your money. If that's what you want, go for it.
Mhm, 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 mhm. Nice. It's pretty wild because I don't. Do you know the story about the Toronto Northmen?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, all right. So, as I understand it, the story goes like this: they wanted to put a team in Toronto. It was later the guy who went and owned the Tampa Bay Bandits. I once did a podcast on him, but I'm drawing a blank on the name right now.
John Bassett.
Oh yes, thank you, sir. All right. So yeah, Bassett wanted to form the Toronto Northmen up there in Toronto, and some politician actually got them to pass a law which said that you could
They didn't
not
even
operate.
they didn't even pass the law. They just the threat of the law was enough to make them go away.
Really?
Yep.
Really? Okay, because as I understood it, there is a similar law now in Canada. But I feel like it becomes the Animal Farm situation, where you can't tell the pigs from the men anymore. You can't tell a Canadian game from the US game anymore. I mean, as soon as you narrow the field, guess what's next?
Shortening the end zones. Maybe you leave the motion in play, but
Well, no, I
if you
think
have
12 men. I think 12 men is the
well,
first thing.
yeah, if you have a shorter field, you take a guy off the field,
Yep.
narrow it, and then
Yep.
oh look, our offense isn't working well. I guess we need to add a fourth down, right?
There's too many punts. We need a fourth down. Yep. 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 Wow. So wild. So wild. All right. In any case, okay. Well, yeah, I guess kind of sad. I mean, in any case, okay. Well,
I think when I write the YouTube blurb for this is like you could skip the first half hour if you're tired of this stuff, and the recaps will start about X time.
yeah. Okay. Right. Right. Yeah. I get that time marker on there.
Yeah, we're looking at like 27 minutes or some such. So
Okay. All right. Well, we'll run through these fast, but some of these games are well worth running through. And
yeah,
wow, things are tightening up. Things are intriguing. Let's start with the first game: Montreal Alouettes 38, Calgary Stampeders 20. Well, Joe, I've got 3 words for you, and I think you can relate. Your team had a similar experience. Night and day. Night and day, Joe. Davis Alexander comes in here. This is an offense. This is an offense that can stay on the field, long enough for the defense to dominate. Davis Alexander, like he never left, 26 36, 350 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Shea Patterson gets 3 goal line touchdowns. Ugh, this is week 3 Alouettes. I'm so glad it's back. I mean, I can just do the rundown. I love doing the rundown of the studs. Tyler Snead, 8 catches for 115 yards. Cole Speaker and Tyson Philpott combined for 10 catches and 157 more yards. Did you have any of these guys in fantasy this week, Joe?
no, I went heavy BC.
Heavy BC. Okay. All right. Well,
Yep.
we'll talk about that in a minute. Defense was awesome again. Combined 22 tackles from the usual suspects: Tyrese Beverett, Daryl Sankey, and Wesley Sutton on the second level. Davey Bergman got 2 sacks, and for about a day, he was leading the league. Again, he was back on top, but not for long. I don't know. I felt that, again, this was a great overall performance. I felt that the defense had Vernon Adams playing a bit scared. Jalen Philpott had a good game. 1 touchdown and something like 95 combined yards. But my takeaway here is that I think the Owls are in the Grey Cup.
I don't see why not. When you have Davis Alexander, when he's your quarterback,
Damn.
you guys are good.
Jesus. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. And this is a proper team. On the other side, you have the Stamps. What to make of the Stamps? I did not like the hit Vernon Adams took last week. I did not like the way they were playing this week. They were not impressive at all. They were not up for this game. And yeah, who knows how this West is going to shake out given the results of this week.
Yeah. I mean, they've lost some of their pep and step on defense with our I can't even say his name right now. I think I'm still angry. Anyway, they've lost the pep in their step due to injuries on the defensive line. You know who I'm talking about. And someday I'll be able to say his name again. And the offense isn't good enough by itself to dominate games. It's been competent this year. It's been what you need it to be, except now with your defense not being as strong as it was, now it's being asked to do more, and it's just not able to quite yet.
Well, I mean, this offense has looked awesome at times this year, Joe. I mean, right. we got a lot of good Vernon, but just lately we have not.
He's been banged up, and that's just the way it's been going with CFL quarterbacks this year.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, every year, dude. It's a long season.
Yeah, this year felt like worse than most.
Yeah, it just felt like we got to that narrative a lot quicker.
Yeah, because I want to say this is like the first time since like week 2 or 3 that all the guys that are in theory supposed to be starters for their team, even though they had a change in
week 1 starters.
Yeah. No, not even that, because Trey Ford was there. But Edmonton made a clear quarterback change.
Right.
Their number 1 played. BC's number 1 played. Everybody's number 1 played this week for the first time. It's like week 3 or 4 or something silly.
Yeah. And Ottawa's number 1 is still standing as well. So, the bye team. So wow, that is pretty wild. Good point. Yeah, because for a long time there, literally the only 2 number 1s out there were Trevor Harris and Bo.
Yeah.
And
I don't think Edmonton suffered a lot of injury issues either. They just made a change.
Yeah. No. It's been surprising actually. Edmonton has been relatively bug free. I mean,
they've been about a 500 team since what? July?
Yep.
Too bad the season starts in June.
Since Cody. Okay. So, all right. Let's move on. I'm glad you agree with me about the Alouettes. Second game was BC Lions 27, Toronto Argonauts 22. Now, there was some controversy before the game because, Nathan, is he still face of the league, Rourke, reportedly had a discussion with Commissioner Johnston at some point during the week to, quote, express concerns with the rule changes. I mean, one wonders what he didn't like. But they report on this in the game. I'm sure it was all for naught because there's no way they're gonna. Maybe if the Lions were 14-0 right now and an international sensation, but otherwise, probably no effect. I don't know, Joe. Sorry.
I was just gonna say they're not walking back any of these rule changes unless the fact that they didn't collaborate with anybody and just made the decision makes it so that they don't have suitable stadiums for 2027.
Wow. Okay.
Because McGill, Montreal,
right.
McGill has stitched lines in the turf. McGill ain't going to pay $1 million to replace the turf just because the CFL decided to change lines, right? If it becomes a situation where teams that are playing in U Sports owned stadiums can't make it work, then you might see it pushed back slightly. Or they use it as an excuse to kill the whole idea. Like, that's the only thing I could see changing anything. We can bark and holler and yell, but when it comes down to cold hard cash, and do you have it? Do you want to outlay it? Do you want to? Do you need to make your situation with your U Sports team that is around with you worse? Like, how do you? Like, it's going to come down to a business decision. It's not going to be anything we say.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so what are you saying, Joe? It's all about the money?
No,
You're kidding.
Really?
You're kidding. All right. So I don't know about you, Joe.
It's also been part of what's calmed down. It's like doesn't matter how mad I am. Doesn't matter how mad we all are. It's like the people with the money are going to do people with the money
Right.
things, and we're just going to have to make our decisions based off of that.
Mm-hmm. I heard a surprising statistic the other day, which said that 10% of the population does 50% of all consumer spending. So you're talking about blowing a couple $100 to see a game. That's the kind of market. Beyond that market is what they're looking for. You're part of that bottom 90%, Joe, I presume. So,
oh yeah, not too far down that list, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they're going down. They're going down. They're going for the guys who do this 10 times more than you.
Oh God, yeah, the guys with the private jet, what have
right,
you.
Right. The Americans, in many cases. In any case, I don't know. I really thought that BC was going to assert themselves after playing so well last week, and to a lesser extent the prior week. But this game, this BC Toronto game looked a lot to me like two teams competing for the number 6 seed in the playoffs. I don't know. What did you think?
Accurate.
I mean, BC gets the win. They keep Toronto out of the end zone until 5.5 minutes left in the game. Okay, but wow.
BC not having killer instinct. Film at 11.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just there's no zip here. There's no elan. Aren't they drinking the espresso? The espresso in Vancouver is excellent too. Come on, get some. I don't know. They just
and might be having high tea instead.
Oh God. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and this game was 13-9 at half. I mean, and this was absolutely brutal. I mean, not only was Toronto not taking advantage of all of these opportunities, what was it? They got the interception early. They're up 6-3 in the second quarter. They got another interception. They don't even score points that time. And, Sluka gets the interception right before the end of the first half. Then it's 13-9. I mean, again, BC wasn't even scoring touchdowns, but Toronto was doing the thing with the other team scoring touchdowns and you're scoring field goals, right? I mean, it was amazing. But there's like zombie teams. It's like these teams are already playing out the string, at least in this game. At least there's just nothing there. I mean, Liam Hailara, had a great game, 5 for 5. Well, kickers will still matter in the new game, won't they, Joe?
I mean, Sean White has basically said he's got a timer in his career at this point, right?
Wow.
Like he knows when he's going to retire now. So, I mean, and a guy like Mark Leggio, who's super duper accurate, but has limitations on his range, he gets to be less valuable too, right?
Yeah, but the field is 10 yards shorter, Joe. So
yeah, but you're only going to be trying field goals from like the 30 now, right? Maybe
really?
15 plus 7 or 8 or whatever. Okay. So what? The 30 is going to be
38.
You're kicking from the 37. You add 15. That's like a 48 yarder now, right?
If you're adding 15, it's a 52. Well, I mean, they do
the 2-yarder, yeah. Like I can't do the math yet because I'm not used to it. Right? It used to be either 7 or 17. I can handle that. Now it's 22.
See the real change. You know how you could make this. You know how you could make this game a Canadian game real quick is just change it to metric system.
That was what everybody else was making too. It's like, hey, if you're gonna make a change like that, make it metric instead.
Yeah, right. See, they could have kept it. Oh no, they could have made it 100 yards, but instead make it 100 meters. That makes up a lot of that 50 yards. In fact, it adds 20 feet. So you would actually be doing you'd actually have a slightly longer field. But yeah, that would be hilarious. That seems like a long 5 yards. It's because it's 5 meters, dude.
Yeah, and then you're making a whole nother group of people mad, right?
Right. Oh, sure.
Might as well piss everybody off while we're at it.
But see, we're not trying to piss everybody off, right? We're not trying to piss off the Americans, right? The
Yeah,
money.
as if
Right.
we have the money, so let's not piss them off.
Yep. Right. 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 Well, that's what the Vatican said ultimately. Uh,
Yeah, the Vatican has such a great track record when it comes to that kind of thing, right?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the last guy was okay. um, I one of the things I thought too was, do you remember Daryl Coxey? Remember him, Joe? Seems like a long time ago he was playing for the Argonauts. Actually,
Yeah,
it was actually week 11, and he still leads the team in receiving yards. Hasn't played for what, like 6 games now? Still leads the team. So, yeah, I mean, I kept thinking in this game, wow, Coxey might have made a difference. Here's the only player on this team that can stretch the field. You know,
right. You can only do so much.
I mean, God, it's no wonder the Argos are 3 games under 500. Just not good. Nathan Rourke, adequate game. But let's go on to the game you'd like to talk about, Joe. Winnipeg Blue Bombers 40, Hamilton Tiger Cats 3. Speaking on behalf of my Montreal Alouettes, can I say thank you, Joe?
You're welcome.
Nice demolishment.
Very nice. I liked it. It was very nice to just have a cup of coffee this morning, catch up with that one, just watch it through, watch Paul LaPolice be an awesome color commentator. Like, just clone him and make him the color commentator for every game because, nothing flashy. Just, hey, this is what they're doing.
Right.
Here's the lines. Here's what's happening.
Right.
But that is what, it was very easy to digest, right?
Yeah. He's the best one at it. He's the best.
Right. Totally. So getting to see it, I think 40-3 kind of actually feels a little bit too high for this game because Hamilton was moving the ball. They weren't like doing great or anything. Their defense wasn't stopping Winnipeg much at all. Winnipeg probably puts up 40 regardless, but this felt like more like a 40-20 game because Hamilton left so many points on the board. Missing a couple of third downs short, doing exactly what the new commissioner wants them to do, going for touchdowns instead of field goals. So they were doing their part to make the game better. So just a couple of plays that were very close to being big plays for them that just weren't, and then it just snowballs, right? I don't think Winnipeg played the best game I've seen them play all year. They played a complete game, and
of course,
watching them for the past few years. When they get rolling, they look like this. Zach's healthy. He's happy. Everything's going well. Good news for us. Yes,
Zach's healthy. That was
good news. Good news for us. Good news for you. Davis Alexander's healthy. Bo didn't have his best game. He was missing the big shots. He was doing everything else decently. Winnipeg was laying back. They were not rushing hard. They were not blitzing. They were just confusing the Hamilton offense and making Bo make tough throws. Usually Bo makes a couple of those and it's a game, right? In this case, you're missing by what? A hand's length or something a bunch of different times, and that's just going to end the game for you, right?
Right. Very nice. Now, I just wanted to check this one with you, Joe. So Trevaval opened up the game with a 96-yard kickoff return. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but next year or in 2 years, that'll be an 86-yard return, but it'll still be worth 6 points, right?
Yeah. Now, I don't know if they're going to change the kickoff lines or what they're going to do about that. There's a whole bunch that's still not really answered. They just kind of went and said, this is what we're doing.
Right.
And they have a year and a half to make the adjustments. Okay, where do we want this? When the ball goes in the end zone and doesn't come out, do we want it on the 40 anymore? Do we want it on the 35 again? Do we want it on the 30? They'll probably keep it at the 40 because they want touchdowns, right? So a touchback in American parlance is going to end up at the 40 now instead of the 30 or the 35 like the Americans are doing right now anyway, right? We don't know any of this, but I could see them doing it because they want their touchdowns, right?
Right.
Not that I'm bitter or anything.
Maybe they'll switch it to 5 downs. Since they don't want to be like the American game, but they want more touchdowns. They want more offense.
Well, there
Um,
you go.
or make it 1st and 8. You need 8 yards for a first down. Um, let's see. Okay, so oh yeah, and I was just thinking, given these last two games, especially, I mean, I feel like, I mean, I know it's not mathematically the case, but Toronto has just about played themselves out of the playoffs at this point.
They are. I don't know how they're doing against you guys. Have you guys won the tiebreaker yet, or what's going on there?
Yes,
You've won the tiebreaker.
I think so.
Okay, then their best bet is to finish third, and they would need to win every game they play.
Right.
And Winnipeg or BC would have to lose every game they play. It's like that simple at this point.
Wow.
Because otherwise, 9 wins in the West right now crosses over, guaranteed. So you're in with 9 unless Edmonton does something spectacular.
Okay.
Which is on the table, but
I mean, okay, so imagine you could see, I mean, the East could be Hamilton, Montreal, and Winnipeg.
it could be any of the 3. It could be Calgary if they keep slumping. It could be Winnipeg. It could because Calgary has a tiebreaker for Winnipeg. I don't know what the situation is. Calgary, BC, they do play next week, so that might get settled one way or the other. Calgary does have the advantage over Winnipeg. Winnipeg's got the advantage over BC. BC might end up having the advantage over Calgary for all I know. I'd have to double check that. I wish I would have beforehand. But this could be 2 through 4 could all end up being like 10 and 8, and then flip a coin, right?
There you go. Whatever. But that's always your preseason prediction, right? Bunch of teams at 500.
Yeah. Now, I think Calgary beat Saskatchewan, so I don't think Saskatchewan can clinch this week. But
Calgary beat them twice, dude.
Right. So Saskatchewan so there's nothing for Saskatchewan because they're in the playoffs. They can't clinch even if they go 11-4 and Calgary's 8-7 because Calgary in theory could catch them. Obviously the mushy middle in the West is going to be the mushy middle. Edmonton could possibly be, I don't think they can be completely eliminated this week because they don't play. So they're going to be stuck on 9 losses.
There's a lot of teams that don't play.
Right. It's a short week. So Calgary and BC, one of those teams is going to get to 9.
Right.
But that doesn't eliminate Edmonton. So that's fine there. So the West is kind of just nothing's really can be clinched, but a lot can be, the storyline can be pushed forward, right?
Yeah.
How are you guys doing against Hamilton?
Let's see. Okay.
Regardless, you don't play, so Hamilton can't clinch either, but you could clinch a playoff spot. Montreal can clinch a playoff spot with the Toronto and Ottawa loss because you guys don't play either.
Right. Yes, both of these teams lose. We're in the playoffs.
You're in regardless of tiebreakers. You're in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Hamilton. Yep. Now we've lost to them twice.
Right.
So that's it. 0-2, and we don't play them again. Wow. Montreal gets Ottawa, Winnipeg. Wow.
Right. So from what I could see here, Ottawa and Toronto are now magic number 1 for being eliminated as far as their own games go. Any loss means that the West crosses over.
Right.
But it would have to be both of them.
Toronto and Ottawa. Well, right. Ottawa's not playing. Oh, yes, they are.
Right. So if Ottawa loses, they're eliminated because they can be crossed over on, and they can't catch Montreal.
Right.
Toronto would be eliminated. Same scenario. They would be crossed over on, and they could not catch Montreal at that point.
Really? No joke.
No joke. Okay. Because they're both at 10 losses. Montreal's at 8 wins. Mm-hmm. So you have to. So just eliminating the idea that they could catch up if they won everything else. They wouldn't be able to anymore.
I just I did want to get this in here, especially considering that the odds are they'll be uh, third team out of the playoffs. Edmonton has really established themselves as a heart attack team this season, right? After these last 3 games. I mean, this was nuts, right? I mean, could you imagine that they were actually going to lose? Actually, it was a bit of a cheat for me because I saw the little time bar at the bottom. And so I knew there wasn't enough. I knew there wasn't enough time left for overtime. But Jesus, they're giving up what, 14 points in 5 minutes?
Yeah, that could have gone more
16?
smoothly for them, that's for sure.
Oh God. Yeah, 14 points could have been 16. Yep. And the other thing I wanted to ask you about this game really quick was this was put forth in the chat, in the Shotgun Sports Network chat, of which Rouge, White, and Blue is a show in the network. There was a comment in the chat about, is Justin Rankin the MOP?
No,
I mean, he really
he's
took
good.
over in the fourth quarter.
He's good. He's really, really good. But you're not an MOP running back on a team that's going to miss the playoffs. It's just not going to be a thing. Unless you set some sort of ridiculous record and the rest of your team is trash. That's not happening.
Right. Yeah. You have like the O.J. Simpson season with the Buffalo Bills, right? Something like that. Okay. All right. So
unfortunately, he played for the Bills and not the Broncos. That would have been like synchrony.
Right. And also, of course, this game was played in the shadow of the passing of owner Jerry Thompson. Larry Thompson. Jerry
Yep.
Thompson. Larry Thompson. My mind is about 10 places at once. Larry Thompson. Wow. That news was pretty crazy. I mean, literally, he had owned the team for just over a year. And suddenly out of the picture, a longtime Edmonton Elks fan who made enough money to buy the team, since we're riffing on that motif today. But R.I.P. Larry. Right. Okay. So, as Joe said, short week this week. Oh, Joe, I wanted to ask you, we can get this in really quick. I know we're probably going to go long today. Fantasy?
Lost. Don't know. Okay. Don't know if it cost me a playoff spot yet or not, but 9-8 is not a terrible record. I don't think so.
9-8. Okay.
I think so. Anyway, let me go look real quick. Yeah, it'd be 9-8. So I don't know how the tiebreakers work off the top of my head. I haven't checked anybody else's results. I just know I lost. So.
Okay, so 9-8 right now.
Yeah, 9-8 right now, and the question is it enough to make the playoffs? Because I was in 7th. There were 4 teams at 8-8.
Right.
If more than one of them won, I'm in some sort of tiebreaker battle, and I don't know how that works. So, if it's total points, I might still be okay.
That's how I got in last year. I came 7th out of 8th, and I won the championship last year.
Yeah, I know you did. I don't know why I remember that.
I retired. So we have the short week this upcoming week. I've already made my picks. I'm ready to bet on these.
Okay.
I think I have a feeling how it goes, and wow, I'm really happy that you gave me those scenarios, because first game, Saskatchewan Roughriders at Ottawa Redblacks. I'm going Saskatchewan. I mean, not necessarily because I think that they're the team that we saw in the first 2/3 of the season anymore, but because they're better than Ottawa. Coming out of a bye hasn't meant too much this season. Maybe because so many teams are shuffling quarterbacks around. Hasn't meant too much in general this season. So I'm going the Riders here.
Okay. Ottawa's playing for their lives. Saskatchewan's for the most part clinched unless something really weird happens. And it's in Ottawa. I could see Ottawa doing it.
Wow. Okay. All right. Good.
And
Go against
Saskatchewan
me.
also hasn't played well lately. So
Okay.
all of those things in consideration, they might pull one off, right? It might not matter in the end either which way, but why not? Let's go. Let's be crazy for a second.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Great. All right. Game 2, Hamilton Tiger Cats at Toronto Argonauts. I really would like Toronto to win out because as a potential number 2 team or as a potential receiver of an extra bye week, I would much rather Toronto be that number 3 seed in the East. To be honest, unfortunately, I don't know, man. I don't know. I haven't seen ever since Toronto came off that 6-game win streak. Ever since the bye week. Bye week really took the wind out of their sails in Toronto. So I got to say the Tiger Cats bounce back from. I'm betting that they won't lose by 37 points to Toronto.
No, I mean Toronto's defense isn't going to play well enough to hold them down, even if Bo has another off day.
Yeah.
Greg Bell was good. Like he's been really good lately. It's just Hamilton got behind early on and just couldn't really climb up the hill,
No, he
and
was not
then
an
had a couple of bad breaks go against them in the second quarter, and everything snowballed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Bell was not an option in that game. So in this respect, he'll be relatively rested for this game on next Saturday. Right. Okay. So finally, Calgary Stampeders at BC Lions, which Joe talked about earlier. Wow, this could really muddy things up a little bit more, huh?
Just a little.
All right. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at so Calgary, BC. All right. Now Calgary's got the thing where they have one more game, right? No, they have one fewer game than everybody else.
So they're Calgary's 8-6, BC's 8-7.
Right. Right. So BC could, if they win here, be in second place. They would be in second place, right? Because Winnipeg is off.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They'd be 9-7. Winnipeg would be 8-7. Calgary would be 8-7.
Wow.
Which means Winnipeg could go to fourth because they're exactly who you want to face in the first round, right?
Oh God, no. God, no. I mean, just again, like what a gauntlet that is. I would much rather have Calgary in that first game because it indicates that Calgary has gone, maybe 1-3 down the stretch, which is fine with me. That means that they're not ready to play in this game. And plus, taking out Vernon Adams, he could really have a nightmare game.
Oh, and by the way, I did look, and BC's probably got the tiebreaker regardless between those two teams, right?
Which? BC?
Because BC and Calgary.
Okay.
BC's going to have the tiebreaker unless they lose by 30 points.
Right. Okay.
Because they won by 29
last
week.
Yeah, that's one thing I was thinking about Calgary. When Calgary wins, they look awesome. When they lose, they look brutal. They're getting blown out. These losses are blowouts. When they lose with a capital L. I mean, now, of course, it's easy to say about any team, but Calgary, especially in this last half of the season, they have been so extreme in these friggin' games. I mean, they're really going. I mean, we said this at the beginning of the year. They're going as Vernon goes. And this team is just as mercurial as Vernon Adams is. My God. So, who do you got in this game? Given that Winnipeg could be in fourth.
BC.
You got BC.
I mean, BC is playing relatively well. I mean, they had a game that they should have lost last week and they still won. So that has to count for something, right? Mm-hmm. And then they put up points after points after points the 3 weeks before that. And even the game before that, they were putting up, they've been putting up 30, 40 points pretty much since they were playing you guys in week 5. Like, I'm just looking through, and they had a slow start to the season, But now all of a sudden they are putting up points like
Dude,
nobody's business.
457.
And they're
457, dude. That's 30.5 points a game.
yeah, and they're definitely and as of late they're averaging right around just eyeballing it 35. They had one game of 27, one game of 52. Everything else is like mid 30s.
Yep. Yeah, their mean is right about 35, right? Yeah, but they've given up 430.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. They're giving up like what 27 points a game. Still, I quoted this a few weeks ago. Still,
and Winnipeg's happy they didn't see them until they saw them twice before they got going.
Right, exactly. Exactly. If they yeah, Winnipeg might have gotten embarrassed like the way Hamilton was today. They caught them at the wrong time. But yeah.
Been there. Actually, BC's done that to us in the last few years, even when we were going well.
Winnipeg was in the East, right?
Like 20 years,
in the East for a while. So maybe they should just send Winnipeg over to the East anyway, regardless of whether they finish second or third.
I'm just picturing Saskatchewan, Winnipeg in the Grey Cup because of that, and like I'm shaking. I don't like that at all.
Yeah. That would be wild. But
look, that would be a high reward game, obviously, but a really low floor if you lose that one, right?
Yeah.
As far as emotional feelings go.
Yeah.
Good
I mean,
Lord.
like you might also, and on the way you could even get Montreal, so you can relive that Grey Cup experience too.
Let's get to Hamilton. Let's get to Hamilton in Hamilton. That one worked out better for us.
I'm still holding out hope, Joe. We could see another Montreal Winnipeg Grey Cup.
Could.
I'm holding out hope.
I mean, if Saskatchewan starts to slide a little bit and they just can't put things away, yeah, I mean it's there. It's on the table, right?
Mm-hmm. Winnipeg, yeah. It's all a question of who's getting hot at the right time. Unfortunately, nobody in the West is really hot right now. BC has won 3 in a row. Edmonton is a few bounces away from having been 4 or 5 in a row. You know?
Yeah. BC's getting warm. Winnipeg has found their footing again. But Calgary hasn't. Saskatchewan's sliding a little bit. It could get interesting. I still think the West Final happens to Saskatchewan. I have no doubt about that, really. But
yeah, there's far enough ahead, dude. I mean, they're 2.5 games up on you and BC. They're 2 games up,
and they're too well coached to have an epic collapse. But it'd be as a Bomber fan that would be enjoyable to laugh about. But it's also not something to expect either.
Even though you got them losing to Ottawa this week.
I just think the scenario is in play for that game to happen that way, right? Because the next week Saskatchewan hosts a Toronto team that's probably eliminated. That's when they probably clinch. I don't think they have much to worry about. I could just see them having a letdown game, especially since they haven't been playing all that well to begin with.
They win. BC wins. They lose. BC wins. That's a game and a half. all of a sudden, BC is only a game and a half back. Or 3 points back in Canadian count?
2 points back, but with 1 game less played.
Right.
Or 1 game more played, I should say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
And a week 21 matchup.
Week 21?
Yeah. BC at Saskatchewan, week 21.
Yeah, but probably that won't matter. Right?
Probably won't. Yeah. But I mean, if we get to the point where it does matter, they play each other for it, right?
Now, who does BC have as number 2 quarterback?
Don't even know.
Yeah, he was
I can't.
He was in for a little while this season, but I'm forgetting.
If you told me, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's right.
Right, of course. I think he was in. He played it in a couple of games this year already. Okay, all right. Let's wrap it. We've gone too long already. Too much to talk about this week. So
Oh yeah, Mazzoli.
Oh, right. Of course. Jeremiah Mazzoli. Yeah, he was in for a couple of games this year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. So let's wrap it up here for Jeremiah Mazzoli, as well as my co-host, Joe Pritchard. I'm Oz Davis. This has been the Rouge, White, and Blue CFL podcast, a member of the Shotgun Sports Network. Enjoy the games, enjoy this short week, and we will talk to you next week.